Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, may peace and countless blessings of Allah be upon you. Today we bring to you a spiritual message of immense power, a secret so simple yet so transformative that if it were known and practiced by the masses, it would revolutionize not only their material lives but more importantly their spiritual states. This wisdom is attributed to none other than the revered Sufi saint Baba Farid Ganjshakar, a towering figure of piety and divine wisdom in the history of Islamic spirituality. It is said that Baba Farid Ganjshakar once remarked with great conviction and clarity that during the blessed moments when the Adhan, the Islamic call to prayer, is being proclaimed, if a person performs just one small yet sincere action, then by the will of Allah, wealth will begin to pour into their home. And this wealth, dear viewers, is not merely limited to gold, silver, or worldly possessions. It encompasses Barakah, divine blessings, in one's sustenance, peace in one's heart, and contentment in one's home. Yet how unfortunate it is that this powerful secret remains hidden from the eyes of most. According to some accounts, nearly 90% of people are unaware of this blessed secret. They hear the Adhan echo across their streets, neighborhoods, and hearts daily, and yet they fail to seize the golden opportunity it presents. So today, dear brothers and sisters, we will unveil this powerful secret for you. We will walk with you step by step through its spiritual meaning, its prophetic foundation, and its immense benefits both in this life and in the hereafter. And by the end, with the permission of Allah, you will have learned how this small act during the Adhan can change your life forever. But before we proceed further, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel Inspired by Islam and click the bell icon to stay updated with more spiritual content that can illuminate your path and enrich your soul. The divine gift of hearing the Adhan. How blessed are we to live in lands where the Adhan is still called out loud, 5 times a day, echoing through the skies and across the streets. For many Muslims around the globe, especially in non-Muslim majority nations, this is a privilege they can only dream of. The sound of Allahu Akbar no longer fills the airwaves there as freely as it does in many Muslim majority countries. And yet, in the places where this divine call is allowed and proclaimed loudly, many people, sadly, have become heedless. The Adhan calls, Hayya ila as-salah, come to prayer. And yet, people remain glued to their television screens, scrolling through social media, chatting idly or walking by without as much as a pause. Some may even be listening to music or involved in casual conversations, while the very call of Allah is echoing in the air. Imagine, the King of Kings is inviting you to stand before him, and the invitation is being given 5 times a day. How honored we are to receive this invitation, and yet how few of us recognize its worth. A sunnah that unlocks the doors of Rizq. It is recorded in various hadiths that the Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings be upon him, emphasized repeating the words of the Adhan after the Mu'adhin. This is not just a suggestion or a recommendation. It is a sunnah, a beautiful practice of the Prophet, one that carries immense spiritual reward. The Prophet Muhammad said, when you hear the Mu'adhin calling the Adhan, repeat what he says. Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. Each word that you repeat after the Mu'adhin is not in vain. It carries reward, purification, and elevation. One hadith narrated from the noble Prophet tells us that for every word you repeat after the Mu'adhin, Allah writes for you a reward, raises you by 1,000 ranks in the hereafter, and forgives 1,000 sins. Just think about that for a moment. For every word, such a massive reward awaits. When a female companion asked the Prophet if women would receive the same reward, he replied that women would be granted such reward, and for men, it would be double due to their added responsibilities in leading prayer and attending the masjid. Why do we struggle with finances, anxiety, family issues, or constant restlessness? One of the spiritual answers lies in the burdens of sin. Sins create barriers between us and divine blessings. Peace descends. Rizq flows. Repeating the Adhan, listening attentively to its call, and performing the recommended acts associated with it is one of those beautiful paths toward forgiveness. And when forgiveness arrives, so too does abundance. Pause for a moment and reflect. Among the most serious is the one who hears the Adhan and turns a deaf ear. The Adhan isn't merely a notification. It's a divine call. Ignoring it cuts a person off from an opportunity to connect with the Creator. In fact, the Prophet Muhammad said that if a person is reading the Quran and hears the Adhan, they should stop, listen to it, respond, and only then continue their recitation. That is how much importance the Prophet gave to the Adhan. So what is the secret? Now let's return to the core of today's message, the secret that Baba Farid Ganjshakar spoke of. It's this. When the Adhan begins, stop everything. Whatever you are doing, whether you are eating, working, talking, scrolling on your phone, or even reading the Quran, just stop. Then listen to the Adhan attentively and respectfully. After each line, repeat the words exactly as the Mueddin says them. When the Mueddin says, Hayya ala salah, come to prayer, and Hayya ala al-falah, come to success, do not repeat those phrases. Instead, respond by saying, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There is no power and no strength except with Allah. And then follow this by sending salutations, durud, upon the Prophet Muhammad. Send it from the depths of your heart. Say, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahima wa ala ali Ibrahima innaka hamidun majid. Ask Allah for your needs. Ask for halal income. Ask for a house, a car, good health, righteous children, and most importantly, ask for guidance, forgiveness, and closeness to Him. Ask with full conviction, full belief, and unwavering trust that Allah will respond to your call. Why? Because Allah is not limited. He is not short of treasures. He only says, be, and it is. The doors of divine mercy swing open at the time of Adhan, and those who know this and act upon it are the ones who benefit. The dua of the Adhan, your ticket to the Prophet's intercession. Hazrat Jabir bin Abdullah reported that the Prophet Muhammad said, Whoever recites this supplication after hearing the Adhan, I will intercede for him on the Day of Judgment. Sahih al-Bukhari. Now think deeply, the Day of Judgment is a day of fear, terror, and accountability. On that day, we will all long for just a glimpse of the Prophet Muhammad, just a drop of his intercession. And here, in this life, the Prophet has told us clearly, recite this dua after the Adhan, and you will receive his intercession. Could there be a more valuable opportunity? Clarifying a common misunderstanding. If you live in an area where there are several mosques nearby and the Adhan echoes multiple times, you only need to respond to one Adhan per prayer time. There's no need to repeat the full process for each echo. Focus on the Adhan that is called specifically for your area or masjid. And always remember, while the oral response to the Adhan is essential, the real response is to perform salah, to stand before Allah and pray. The tongue responds by repeating. The heart responds by intending to obey. The body responds by making wudu and praying. Final words. So, dear brothers and sisters, starting from today, let's make a change. Let us not allow the Adhan to be background noise in our lives. Let us stop, respond, repeat, and pray. Let us seize the treasure hidden in those blessed minutes. If you want to see a change in your life, whether it's financial ease, spiritual tranquility, or divine favor, then start by giving the Adhan the attention it deserves. This small act could be the key that unlocks countless blessings. Write mashallah in the comments if this message touched your heart. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Like this video, share it across your social networks and help spread this secret of spiritual success far and wide. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with more inspiring Islamic content. Like, share, and comment to support our work and spread the message. The spiritual secret of responding to the Adhan, a hidden key to rizq, forgiveness, and barakah. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Dear brothers and sisters, may peace, mercy, and barakah be upon you. Today we will explore a timeless spiritual key, a radiant jewel of worship, that lies hidden in the ordinary sounds of our everyday life, yet holds within it extraordinary power. It's a secret that whispers quietly 5 times a day, calling out from the minarets, echoing across rooftops and alleys, but only the spiritually awake are stirred by it. It is the secret found in the Adhan, the noble call to prayer. It is a sacred invitation, a divine call directly from the heavens. It is as though Allah is addressing your soul 5 times a day through the blessed tongue of the mueddin. Yet, in the rush of our modern routines, work meetings, mobile notifications, traffic horns, and digital distractions, most of us have become desensitized to this glorious sound. We hear it, but we don't feel it. We recognize it, but we don't respond to it, and that is a great spiritual loss. But today we revive an ancient secret. A secret attributed to one of the great friends of Allah, Hazrat Baba Farid Ganjshakar, whose heart was so illumined that the remembrance of Allah poured from his very presence. According to accounts from those close to his circle, he once said, "He who hears the Adhan and repeats it attentively, and then recites the special dua afterward with presence of heart, wealth will enter his home just as water flows through an open stream." But as with all divine gifts, this isn't simply about material wealth. It is about Barakah, the unseen multiplier of blessings. It is about sustenance that arrives from unexpected places, in beautiful forms, contentment, tranquility, joy in worship, and unity in the home. Let's now explore the layers of this spiritual secret in depth, through Quran, Hadith, spiritual tradition, and stories of the righteous. The Adhan, a heavenly echo in a world of noise. To begin, reflect on this. Of all the creatures on earth, only the human being has been granted the honor of calling others to the worship of their Lord. Birds chirp, the thunder praises, oceans hum, but it is the mueddin whose voice is chosen to rise above all creation 5 times a day with the cry of Allahu Akbar. Why? Because the Adhan is not a man-made ritual. It came through divine inspiration. When the Muslims migrated to Medina and established the masjid of the Prophet Muhammad, the question arose, how should people be called to prayer? Some suggested a bell like the Christians. Others suggested a horn like the Jews. But then a companion named Abdullah ibn Zayd saw a dream in which an angel taught him the exact words of the Adhan. The Prophet Muhammad confirmed it and said, "This is a true dream. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice." The Adhan was divinely gifted, and to this day, it remains a daily miracle echoing across cities and deserts, reminding humanity of its purpose. Why the Adhan is more than a call. The Adhan begins with the declaration, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Not once, but 4 times. Why? Because the heart is heavy with worldly concerns, and repetition is necessary to pierce through its distractions. This repeated call is not just for the ears, it is for the soul. When you hear the Adhan, Allah is not simply calling you to a ritual, He is calling you to Him. The Adhan is a lifeline for the drowning, a rope for the lost, a trumpet of awakening for the heedless. Each word is layered with meaning. Allahu Akbar, whatever you're doing, stop, because nothing is greater than Allah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah, this world will offer you idols, status, wealth, desires, but remind your soul, none is worthy of worship but Allah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadun Rasulullah, you are being summoned not randomly, but by the messenger, who is your model of guidance. Hayya, Alas Salah, come to prayer, where hearts are healed, where sins are washed. Hayya ila al-falah, come to success, not success of salary or status, but success of the soul. He is greater. The hidden treasure of repeating after the mueddin. Now comes the part most people overlook, how we respond to the Adhan. You don't need to be fluent. That's the beauty of Islam. Even your act of obeying Allah is dependent on Allah helping you. And then you send durud salutations upon the Prophet. This act alone is enough to erase mountains of sins and raise your rank in the sight of Allah. From the saints and scholars Rizq through the Adhan. Imam al-Suyuti wrote that the Adhan softens hearts, removes veils, and draws angels. The righteous knew this. That's why they would pause everything, even if they were in deep Dhikr or Quran. when the Adhan echoed. Hazrat Baba Farid observed that those who honor the Adhan honor their own souls. He noticed that people who attentively repeated the Adhan and made dua afterward began to witness unexpected doors of Rizq opening. A simple farmer would find a buyer for his crops without asking. A struggling shopkeeper would receive a large order. A jobless man would receive a call. Not always immediately, but consistently, quietly, in ways they hadn't imagined. Because the Adhan is not ordinary time. It is a divine appointment. The four spiritually hard-hearted. The Prophet Muhammad once said there are 4 people whose hearts have been hardened. Reflect, if our hearts are not stirred by the call of the King of Kings, then what will move them? Adhan, a time for dua and acceptance. In another hadith, the Prophet Muhammad said, "The dua made between the Adhan and Iqama is not rejected." Abu Dawud. So right after the Adhan, don't rush away. Sit. Face the Qibla. Raise your hands. And pour your heart out. Ask Allah for halal rizq. For relief from debts. For protection from evil. For children who love the deen. For parents in their graves. For a life of purpose and an akhirah of peace. Those few minutes are golden, more valuable than entire nights spent complaining to people. Conclusion. Let your heart answer the call. From today, dear brothers and sisters, make a promise. Let the Adhan be a call to action, not background sound. Let your tongue respond, your heart soften, and your body prepare for prayer. This world is noisy, yes. But the Adhan is the one sound that silences the noise of dunya and reorients your soul to the akhirah. So when you hear it next time, stop, reflect, and then ask Allah with certainty. He will open for you what no one else can. Write, Ya Allah, let me respond to your call in the comments if this message touched your heart. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with more inspiring Islamic content. Like, share, and comment to support our work and spread the message.